The two main GOP rivals for the governor's race are battling in court today, federal court, about fundraising for the campaign. The could be a big impact on the governor's race. So Greg Bluestein is going to join us live, and then set your alarms, get back here, watch me just fumble through this interview. Ron Howard, legendary director, joining us live at 11:20 on The Mark Arum Show. At 9:17, though, let's get our first check of the morning traffic during the Mark Arum Show. Hello and good morning to Mr. Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Things improving on the southeast leg of the perimeter. A widely scattered crash. Several vehicles involved now on the right shoulder. 285 westbound the inner loop, approaching Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Slow, though, back around Covington Highway if you're traveling 285 south and westbound. So just be prepared for those brake lights as you work your way past I-20 and eventually to I-675. Saw a vehicle just move to the right shoulder in Gwinnett County, 85 southbound, just past Pleasant Hill Road. This support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on your favorite brands at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off Stonyfield Organic Select Yogurts with Prime through August 26 while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
No way!
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
I just won $1,000 from WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Begins Monday, August 25th.
I am so excited.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Hey, you spotted your termite guy strolling around the yard. Is he just getting his steps in? Does he even know where your bait stations are? Mark Arum here. Ask them to show me the bait stations. If they can't, it's time to switch to Breda Pest Management with a complete liquid barrier, not bait stations, plus early detection both inside and out. And your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. Today, we're talking with the experts about Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum, owners of North Georgia Replacement Windows.
Jonathan, many people may think a window is a window. Tell us how the Infinity fiberglass window is different.
Well, fiberglass is a thermoset material instead of a thermoplastic like vinyl and most other composite windows. This means other windows will be disfigured by extreme heat and cold, whereas a thermoset fiberglass window will not.
We do experience some extreme climates in Georgia sometimes. What does this mean for homeowners when it comes to windows?
Very simply, other windows lose their energy efficiency over time, but the Infinity fiberglass windows have a fit that never quits and energy efficiency that lasts. Our windows are the most durable, long-lasting solution available.
Energy efficiency is very important, but what do the windows look like? Will we have to compromise on the looks of the windows?
Not at all. Infinity windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl windows. Our windows are designed to look like traditional wood windows without the upkeep.
Okay, so the window material is durable and the product looks great. What can a homeowner expect during the installation?
We understand that this may be your one and only window replacement project, so we keep you updated every step of the way. Your detailed installation will be quick, clean, and hassle-free. We also stand behind all of our installations with a lifetime service warranty.
Jonathan and Ted, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, experience, and expertise. And right now at North Georgia Replacement Windows, we are celebrating back to school with huge savings. You'll enjoy 18% off your project, plus up to 18 months no interest, no payment financing. Hurry, these offers end August 31st, 2025. Visit our amazing showroom in Alpharetta and visit us online at ngwindows.com. ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
You're listening not to a gaseous talk show host, but those are high winds hitting the Outer Banks in North Carolina, updating Hurricane Aaron. We had great coverage throughout the week from WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. No effect here in Metro Atlanta. The Georgia coast might see some stuff. Aaron, by the way, remains a Hurricane 2, a Category 2 hurricane northeast of the Bahamas as it moves up the East Coast. Jim Kursula has more.
The huge storm is generating strong winds and flooding surf in Bermuda and on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Ben Zeitlin and his family decided not to end their vacation early and ride out the storm in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina.
A little worried, but we saw the weather forecast. It's going to be pretty much out in the ocean, so there'll be some wind and maybe some rain, but we think we'll be fine.
Rough surf advisories are in effect along the East Coast from South Florida all the way to the Maine-Canada border. Jim Kursula, CBS News.
I saw some video this morning, Deborah, of the I think it was the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and these nice homes on stilts.
Oh, yeah, right in the water.
Yeah, and the water's like complete. I don't know if I could live in I mean, I know when there's not a hurricane, there's not, the storm surge that you don't have to deal about that. But I don't know if I could live in a home on stilts. Like that's, bad stuff can happen. I certainly wouldn't buy a home that's on stilts because then, like, all right, this is a very sensitive area and you're likely to see some flooding. That was just crazy video. And how do you even get insurance for a house like that?
I can't imagine what that costs.
Yeah, I mean, the insurance adjuster comes to your house. All right. Your house is on stilts. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be $1 million a year to insure. Like, that's insane. I mean, I wish him well. I hope the best of him. Relatedly, it's not just Hurricane Aaron, but I didn't know these were a thing, Deborah. Amazon, we all know Amazon. And remind me again, I got to talk about the Amazon effect. But I didn't know Amazon has, quote, disaster hubs. So we know the big Amazon warehouses where we buy all our tchotchkes from and they deliver it. But Amazon has specific disaster hubs. What are these all about?
Yeah, so Amazon's more than me just ordering unnecessary things online. They also do streaming entertainment. There's virtual doctors now. They also have partnered up with cars. They deliver groceries. But they also have this disaster relief team and warehouses around the country and the globe. And one of them is right here in Union City. So Amazon is stocked with relief supplies, and they can be shipped out pretty quickly as a storm is approaching or once it actually hits. So there are things like tarps, hygiene kits, water filters, and they can get them out, the minute something knows that they know something's happening, and they can get it out in about 3 days. So there's warehouses all around. There's Germany, India, Japan, Australia, Mexico, and of course one not too far from us.
Now the stuff that's housed in these disaster hubs, is that for personal shoppers, or is that like, hey, the one in Union City, hey, there's a bad storm in South Georgia. Hey, Valdosta, we have stuff the city or FEMA can buy. Do we know who is buying the tarps? And I mean, it doesn't matter.
It says it was put together after Hurricane Maria came through Puerto Rico, and people just really needed supplies quickly. And just because Amazon can ship so quickly, that's how they kind of started this disaster relief. So I think it's for anybody in need, not just me shopping online.
Gotcha. So it's like a privatized FEMA Like they just have
Kind of.
this stuff. I think that's very cool. And we have one in Union City, which is
Yep.
even better, to have one close to us. To me, the most notable hurricane in my lifetime, Katrina, back, I don't even know what year Katrina was. Was that
It was 20 years ago.
20 years ago. We actually have updated numbers now, or they just released new data on how devastating Katrina was?
Yeah, there's kind of reflecting back now that it has been 20 years since Katrina, talking about, the impact that it's had on the area. Some of us probably remember it more than others. A lot of people moved from those areas into Metro Atlanta. But they're saying Hurricane Katrina killed over 1,300 people, 500 direct deaths, 300 of them were in Louisiana, all associated just with the storms that came through. And some of them it was afterwards, it wasn't necessarily when the storm hit, but there was so much flooding in the area. And then hospitals were inundated, and it was just a big mess.
Yeah.
So as they're remembering 20 years of Katrina.
All right, that's yeah. God bless. I love that city of New Orleans, but you're below seawater. Below sea level is the elevation of Nolans. Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic, too. When we come back live to D.C., the very latest with the Russia-Ukraine situation straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
2 houses, same neighborhood, nearly identical. But one had an orchard sign, and it sold for way more. So what happened? Well, the first homeowner used a traditional agent. And after weeks of sitting on the market, price drops, and mounting frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard. Their local orchard agent didn't just list the home, they knew how to market it properly. They knew which upgrades would attract serious buyers, brought in pros to handle the prep, and positioned the home to sell for top dollar. And thanks to Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, that homeowner moved into their new place before the old one even hit the market. No showings, no disruptions, no living in limbo. That's the difference. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard. Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Here at Massey, we know a thing or two about bugs. We've been keeping pests out of homes for almost 100 years. Our customized pest prevention program keeps bugs outside, in their home, not yours. Because when we prevent pests from getting in, we protect health, home, and family. Make your home a Massey home. Schedule your free inspection today at masseyservices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys, know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
Weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, we are getting new information this morning following an overnight burglary and officer-involved shooting at Perimeter Mall. One person's been arrested, and Dunwoody police are still searching for 2 others. Sergeant Michael Cheek telling us this morning the suspects broke into the mall and stole some handbags. Then they drove off in a security guard's vehicle. That's when police arrived to head them off.
When the officers confronted the suspects intentionally drove their vehicle towards our officers, to which our officers fired rounds at the vehicle.
Now, they got away, but police later found one suspect with a gunshot wound in some nearby woods. He's been arrested. They're still looking for 2 others, though. No officers were hurt in the overnight incident. It is 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says it'll be hot, humid again today. The high once again topping 90 degrees. More afternoon and evening storms are expected to pop up around town. Once again, some of them could be heavy. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Fulton County commissioners could face contempt charges after defying a court order, refusing to seat 2 Republican nominees on the Board of Elections.
With 3 commissioners absent, the vote was 2-2 on party lines against approving Jason Frazier and Julie Adams. Both Republicans have a past history of challenging ballots and election results. Commissioner Bridget Thorne says that's not evidence of election denial.
Julie Adams, her lawsuit was, I need information to make sure that the number of people voted equals the number of ballots cast. That's called integrity. That's called checks and balances. That's called transparency.
Commissioners risk jail time and daily fines for for refusing the court order, which came after the Republican Party sued over previous rejections. That ruling has been appealed. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Vice President J.D. Vance visits Metro Atlanta today to talk about taxes and the economy.
The vice president will hold an event at a manufacturing plant in Peachtree City this afternoon to highlight what his office says are the historic tax cuts included in the One Big Beautiful Bill. It comes amid an ongoing push to present the legislation as the administration's signature achievement. Vance is also expected to address a Republican National Committee gathering in Atlanta earlier in the day. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Now, the White House has not given specifics about the trip, but Fayette County Schools warned parents that the appearance in Peachtree City could delay buses at nearby schools along Highway 74 later on today. Check back with the WSB traffic team throughout the day. Vice President's motorcade, of course, could cause some headaches on the roads. And a hiring event is now underway for the IRS in Chamblee as it looks to fill more than 300 seasonal vacancies at the agency's Atlanta Service Center. IRS is looking for clerks and tax examiners who will work directly with taxpayers to resolve several kinds of issues. Applicants need 1 year of specialized customer service experience or a bachelor's degree to qualify. The event happening right now goes on until 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott Atlanta Dunwoody. It's 9:33 as we check your money. A down start on Wall Street. Boy, way down. Dow was down about a half a percentage point right now. S&P and NASDAQ looking about the same at this time. It is 9:33. Now it's live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
Judd still got a crash off to the right. Enough to cause the brake lights still. 285 westbound the inner loop as you approach Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Delays improving, but still sluggish, though, as you leave I-23 miles back. So be aware of the delays there. And also seeing the brake lights starting to glow in the work zone into Cobb County. I-20 eastbound past Wesley Chapel Road before Panola Road, exit 71. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, hot and humid, high 91. Scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms through this afternoon and evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy downpours. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 84. Staying cloudy on Saturday, high 82.
It is currently 74 degrees in Holly Springs, 76 in McDonough, 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I intend to push the return of these children to I can't push anymore. If they do not return these children to Ukraine, the 19,000, then I'm going to push legislation to make Russia a state sponsor of terrorism under U.S. law.
Wow, Lindsey Graham, the senator with strong words about Russia, Ukraine. We go live to the White House next, 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
We've all got one, and there's never just one thing on it. Your home improvement to-do list. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus covers everything on your list. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, the owner of Painting Plus. We do it all, and we do it right. Trust the Plus family of businesses for everything on your list.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Arum. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years. And Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
Hey, it's Patrick from Zerorez. Did you know your home's air ducts are the lungs of your house? Thankfully, you can breathe easier indoors by calling Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Having pets and being prone to allergies are just a few reasons to give the cleaning pros a call. Right now, take $75 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR75 when scheduling online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
Got a leaky pipe, heating, or cooling issue? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. We're not just the helpful hardware folks. We're the helpful home service and repair folks, too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Online at acehardwarehomeservices.com or call 770-233-7787.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand.
Put a little love in your heart. Happy birthday, 84th birthday, singer Jackie DeShannon. One of her hits in the 60s was this classic, Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Deborah, I didn't know till this morning that was the name of the person that sang that song. I know that song, but I had no idea that it was. I never even heard the name Jackie DeShannon before.
You know, I think it's been covered by a lot of artists, so depending on
Oh.
which one you heard more, you're probably familiar with a different version.
Speaking of music, we're going to go to the White House in just a little bit. The latest on the Russia-Ukraine war. Got some new info on the CDC. So yesterday in the show, we talked about Dave Malkoff, the CBS reporter that had AI create this pop song, and it went viral. And Dave reached out to me after the show. He's doing a follow-up for CBS News, and he wants to interview me about the song, and he wanted the audio and video that we had yesterday on the show. You can watch the show live at WSBRadio.com. So Deborah, of course, was facilitated that, got the CBS News producers the audio and video from the program. But then you sent me another link, Deborah. It said Mark Aram AI song. And I thought you made an AI song about the show, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah, no, that's on Vinny's plate to
Yeah,
do that.
that's he's the producer. I'll let him do
Yeah,
that.
so that's very cool that Malkoff. I don't know if he was listening or if someone from CBS was listening that we covered that story, but I think we're going to be featured on CBS nightly news, evening news. On Friday,
Okay.
so that's very cool.
Make sure that you set the DVR.
Absolutely, my Xfinity DVR. Let me get a little thing. All right. CDC update. I just got pictures. I don't know if we've got a reporter at the CDC right now getting a tour post shooting. And, we've been covering that horrific story. The poor officer that lost his life, 500 rounds fired by the subject at the buildings of the CDC. Deborah, the pictures I just got a handful of them from one of our reporters on the scene getting a tour of the building now. It's horrible. I'm just seeing bullet holes in these windows, and there's a lot of them. Like they're not back to. I don't know if they can't replace the windows yet because of the investigation ongoing, but I mean these are bullet-ridden windows. And I'm just looking at one picture right here. I'm going to see if I've permission to share them on social media. But imagine. You've got this great office, right, at the CDC. You're overlooking beautiful DeKalb County area, and you look out your window, and every single one of your windows has like 4 or 5 bullet holes in them. Like, how can you go? Could you do your work in an office like that, knowing that, 2 weeks ago they were, just all of these bullets flying into the windows?
Yeah, I definitely probably still feel a little nervous.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to try to get permission. But their CDC is in the news today, and it's not good news. It's unrelated to the shooting, but 600 CDC workers are going to be terminated, Deborah.
Yeah, about 600 CDC employees going to be let go, and notices started going out earlier this week, so probably Monday, but not every employee that will be let go has received one yet. So the Department of Health really didn't give out any more details other than it's part of like restructuring, downsizing, trying to be more efficient. And a federal judge issued that some of the CDC employees were protected because of the type of the work they do, including groups dealing with smoking, reproductive health, environmental health, workplace safety, STIs, things like that, but doesn't cover all of the employees that are there at the CDC.
Yeah, so imagine just, again, I have friends that work there. They miraculously still have their jobs. Like, they thought they were going to be let go in the earlier Doge cuts and the RFK Jr. cuts, but they held on to their job. And they're great. They're smart people. They have a passion for what they do. They want to help humanity. There's nothing nefarious. They have no bad intentions or anything like that. And they have, since the shooting, they've been working remotely. And I know they want to get back to the office. They want to help people and continue to do the good work. And they might be terminated right now, right? I don't think there's any indication of what CDC employees are on the chopping block, which is a struggle. So thoughts and prayers to everyone that works at the CDC. And I know a bunch of HHS workers, I think they crafted a letter and sent it to RFK Jr. Saying, hey, the CDC needs your support right now. They literally are under fire. So please tamp down the rhetoric. And I don't know if this is true or not. I saw this on social media. Again, police officer, DeKalb County police officer, lost his life in the line of duty. Horrible shooting at the CDC. And President Trump hasn't mentioned it once. I don't know if that's true or not. But I don't think, usually when something like that happens, the president, no matter who's in the Oval Office, will be like, oh, Melania's and I's thoughts and prayers with the fallen, like not even commenting on the CDC, just the police officer that lost his life. Anyway, a couple of big CDC stories. If I get permission to share those photos, I'll put them up on social media at Mark Arum. All right, continuing our coverage of Russia and Ukraine. Joining us live from CBS News, our buddy Willie James Inman. Willie, good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mark. Good morning. Just walking to the White House. How you doing today?
Excellent. Well, first off, how was your Alaska trip, and what was your reaction when we came out and had that, I'm not even going to call it a press conference, that appearance with Vladimir Putin and President Trump?
Yeah, certainly not a press conference by any means, because both leaders gave statements, talked for about 12 minutes or so, and didn't take any questions. So certainly wasn't a press conference by any means, but wasn't what we were expecting, because remember, President Trump going into the Alaska summit with President Putin of Russia essentially said that he wanted a ceasefire. And if, in fact, Putin didn't agree with him on that, he would be very upset. That didn't happen. We, of course, have seen things change and shift with Zelensky's visit here to the White House earlier this week. But we'll have to wait and see in terms of what happens with negotiations between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, where are we at that point now that the summit is over in Alaska? We had the White House meeting with Zelensky and the European leaders. Where are we now in negotiating an end to the war?
Yeah, so the White House has essentially said that they have been able to try to work on a face-to-face meeting between Zelensky and Putin that could take place in Budapest, Hungary. We know that they are working to make that happen in the next 2 weeks or so. Russia has pushed back a little bit on that notion, essentially saying that they're raising the conversation to the leader level, not necessarily confirming that meeting will take place. Nonetheless, the Europeans, the Americans, working on security guarantees for Ukraine. President Trump has said that America could be involved in some way with those security guarantees, not necessarily boots on the ground, but it could be air support for Ukraine once peace negotiations happen. And for a Ukraine that's not in war, it would involve security guarantees. Russia has pushed back on that as well, trying to essentially have a veto say in what security guarantees Ukraine has. So a lot of this is up in the air, but the big crux of what's happening right now is those ongoing talks and whether or not Putin and Zelensky will meet face-to-face. It could happen in Budapest, Hungary, and whether or not President Trump will actually take part in those conversations at that location or at a different location.
I have to wonder, Willie, if they're putting the cart before the horse on this, talking about security guarantees that would be implemented after the war ends. First, the war has to end, and what we saw in Alaska and what we saw at the White House on Monday, I don't see a realistic end to this war anytime soon. Am I misreading the situation?
Well, look, Mark, your guess is as good as mine, right? This has been going on for the past few years. Now, we, of course, know that Ukraine is really adamant about the security guarantees in large part because they don't want this to happen again. We saw the situation in Crimea and then what happened with the most recent invasion by Russia. So that's part of the argument. That's why Ukraine is pushing so hard for these security guarantees because they're concerned, and rightfully so, about what happens after the peace deal goes through, if it does indeed happen.
All right, CBS News reporter Willie James Inman back in D.C., walking to the White House. Final question, not related to the war. In Alaska, were you able to sample any of the amazing Alaskan food?
I did have some really good. It was kind of like some chicken. I didn't get any salmon or anything like. I had some shrimp, Mark. It was good though. I had a good time in Alaska, and I'm sorry I couldn't chat with you that Monday. I was actually off because of the long weekend. I ended up working over the weekend after that.
No worries.
But always happy to talk to you. My home state down there in Georgia.
Yeah, no elk chili, nothing like that.
No elk chili, but I do order some elk chili with my food. I get a food delivery service, and I eat elk chili weekly usually, so it's actually quite good.
Very nice. All right, Willie, welcome back. As always, thanks for your coverage, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. He went to Alaska, and he got chicken. And by the way, Deborah, I ordered bagels, sandwiches for the staff today. I know better than to ask you. And Vinny said no. He turned down free food because he wanted chicken.
Yeah, it was this dude named Vinny over there in
Yeah.
Alaska?
It's a chicken day.
It's chicken day, apparently.
Yeah, I thought Bagel Day was Tuesday.
Well, we're all mixed up
we're
this
all
week.
Yeah.
But that just shows you Vinny at 25 is less food insecure than we were at 25.
For sure. You just take what was there.
I would free Spam, whatever, tripe at 25.
Spam?
It's free food. I would have done it. All right. Anyway, related to what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, the headline that just popped in the last couple of minutes. Russia, despite the ongoing negotiations, trying to get a trilat together, Russia carries out its biggest attack in more than a month while accusing Ukraine of not being interested in peace. Pot calling the kettle blank. Fill in the blanks there. All right, still to come, we got a big local political story. Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution is going to join us covering that. And the headliner today, Ron Howard, famed director and actor, is going to join us live at 11:20. You do not want to miss that. And I know you don't want to miss traffic updates. We provide them throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Live with the latest, it's Mike Shield.
And Mark, you don't want to miss it if you're on the east side perimeter with delays quickly forming now out of Clarkson through Tucker on 285 northbound, the outer loop before Shanley-Tucker Road, exit 34. At least one lane blocked and already slow as you leave Highway 78, so watch out for those delays to continue until they can get this trouble off to the right. We've had a long-standing crash on the right shoulder, 285 westbound, the inner loop approaching Boulder Crest Road, and right lane road work into DeKalb County, 20 eastbound past Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. This support is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta,
Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
if it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta,
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
we've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
You finally spotted your termite guy strolling around your yard. Is he just getting his steps in, or is he actually doing something? Hey, it's Dave Baker for the only termite protection company I trust, Breda Pest Management. You know, that guy walking you around your yard is supposed to be checking bait stations placed about every 15 feet. But in reality, they often don't even know where your bait stations are. I'm serious. Hey, do this. Next time they finish walking around your yard, go outside, introduce yourself, ask them to show me the bait stations they supposedly just checked. If they can't, it's time to switch to Breda. Breda offers a complete liquid barrier and early detection with advanced technology both inside and out. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. BREDAPets.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume, how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, friends, when was the last time you hopped out of bed without your knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step? Let me guess, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, it'll disappear, I'll tough it out, but nothing ever changes, does it? Hey, it's Mark Air. Time to call and schedule that free consultation with the medical pros at QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Bring your x-rays and your MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. 770-285-8026. Ask about that free consultation. 770-285-8026.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is Medishare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medishare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medishare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medishare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
This is truly an historic occasion because for the second time within a year, a new state has been admitted to the Union.
66 years ago today, you heard President Eisenhower on WSB Radio signing the proclamation that made Hawaii the 50th state in our union. Alaska had become the 49th state back on January 3rd. So 66 years ago, there's a ton of people listening, Deborah, that were alive and remember that. I would imagine that would have been a big deal. You know, because you grew up your whole life, it was 48 states. And then, oh, boom, we got 49. Oh, boom. I think I would have been pumped as a kid.
Got that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we're getting a new flag. This is amazing. Did people even know about Alaska and Hawaii back then? Was it?
I'm sure Alaska.
Yeah, probably. But was Hawaii known? Well, I guess, after
World War II.
World War II, yeah. But that's kind of, I think that would have been a big deal. If you were alive and all of a sudden, like right now, if all of a sudden, all right, Puerto Rico's the 51st state, that'd be a big deal.
Yeah.
Got to get new flags, everybody. Anyway, that was 66 years ago today. The older listeners will remember that. Speaking of old, I didn't know this. The oldest person in the world just got a little bit older.
Ethel Caterham is 116 years old today. The Briton became the oldest living person in April after the death of Brazilian nun Sister Ina Canberra Lucas, who was also 116. Caterham was born in 1909, the youngest of 8.
We had no television, no radio or anything like that.
Asked the secret of her long life, she replied,
I haven't got a secret. I haven't got a secret at all. I just live.
Caterham is the last surviving subject of King Edward VI. His great-great-grandson, Charles III, was sending Caterham a birthday card. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
That's crazy. 106. I think I know the answer, Deborah. You don't want to live that long, right?
No, I'm exhausted now.
Yeah, you'll probably live the longest out of all of us because you're healthy and you work out, and I don't even know what workout means. But that's too long, right? 116?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Unless you're 114 and you're like, yeah, I feel good. I guess it's all case dependent. But bless her heart, 100. And she's like, I don't have a secret. I'm just old. Leave me alone, Vicki Barker. Get out of my house. Happy birthday, 116 years old. Was she alive during the plague? That lady at 116? Was the plague still around? Well, the plague's back, unfortunately, and it's in California, of all places. I would have thought if the plague was coming back, it would have been in Florida, just because Florida. But someone in California has caught the plague. I don't know if that's the correct terminology.
Yeah, a resident in California tested positive for the plague. Now, officials think that this person was bitten by an affected flea while they were camping near Lake Tahoe. So these symptoms are fever, nausea, weakness, swollen lymph nodes, which is kind of the symptoms of almost anything. But it can take up to 2 weeks to see exposure on that. So they're warning you, if you are camping in areas with wild animals, don't pet them. Don't try to pet a squirrel. And if you see dead animals or injured animals, leave them alone because they're the ones that would most likely have the plague. And it should be treated with antibiotics as soon as
Should we be worried about this? Is this going to spread? Like the
I don't
plague,
think so.
Isn't that what's called
she's already
Black Death?
the person's already being treated. So I don't know. Well, don't go pet a squirrel.
Oh my God, I've got a wildlife story to tell you. Holy shnikes. I'll tell you when we come. Not right away when we come back, because I got.
That's what they call a tease.
Yeah, I mean, OMG, wildlife story. I don't have the plague. I didn't pet anything, but oh my goodness, I was stunned and shocked and bewildered. That is a good tease. Austin's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, big local political story involving the race for the governor's mansion. Greg Bluestein from the AJC live next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Attention, all sports fans. The greatest time of the year is quickly approaching. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. If you are a sports fanatic like I am, you got to make sure you are hooked up with Xfinity, the Xfinity sports app. Game changer when you're watching live events. You get stats, you get highlights. It really elevates your game watching experience. Plus, speaking of all the apps now, games are on certain networks and certain availabilities, blah, blah, blah. You can get all of those streaming apps through Xfinity. So I was wanting to watch a preseason NFL game. Boom, the app I needed was right there via Xfinity. It really is a game changer for sports fans alike. 12 months a year. We love sports. So does Xfinity. Xfinity makes sports that much better. Give them a try this sports season, this upcoming football season. Simple. Just go to Xfinity.com. You get all the information there. Or better yet, visit your local Xfinity store near you today to get all the details on how Xfinity makes sports so much better.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top local story, one suspect is now in custody and two others remain on the run following a burglary at Perimeter Mall.
Dunwoody police say the crooks hit the Request Boutique in the mall where they stole luxury handbags. As for their getaway,
when they came outside, they saw that the mall security vehicle unoccupied, jumped in it, stole it, and started to leave the scene.
Sergeant Michael Cheek says Dunwoody police confronted the suspects near the mall.
Suspects intentionally drove their vehicle towards our officers, to which our officers fired rounds at the vehicle.
He says the car eventually crashed. One of the suspects is in custody and being treated for a gunshot wound. Two others fled. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It is 77 degrees right now in Midtown. Another partly cloudy day today in the metro. Pop-up storms possible this afternoon. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A 77-year-old man's recovering after an attack at his Marietta home. Cobb County Police Officer Aaron Wilson says they started getting 911 calls about the victim being found along Sandy Plains Road from witnesses who thought he had been struck by a vehicle.
Investigators have since said that the victim returned home and discovered a man he knew standing inside his residence without his permission. The suspect inside had struck him several times in the head with a piece of wood.
The victim made it out of the home to the sidewalk where he was found. Wilson says the suspect fled but was tracked down overnight on Shallowford Road thanks to license plate recognition cameras. The 29-year-old man was taken into custody without incident. Hurricane Erin continues to move further north into the Atlantic and closer to North Carolina's Outer Banks. Conditions are expected to deteriorate there throughout the day.
The combination that has had officials so concerned here, high tide mixed with high surf that could lead to the overwash that floods the roads. Officials have closed down portions of Highway 12. That is the main road here in the Outer Banks that we have been talking about all week long.
Victor Akendo reports Highway 12 is known to see significant flooding during storms. The hurricane's creating dangerous conditions at beaches up and down the East Coast. 3 Navy warships are heading to the South American coast as part of a federal crackdown on drug cartels.
The move sends a strong signal to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whom the administration accuses of being one of the world's largest drug traffickers, working with cartels to deliver cocaine to the U.S.
Michael Wallace reports the destroyers will have the authority to intercept drug smugglers. The Justice Department also announces it's doubling its reward for info leading to Maduro's arrest, now at $50 million. The vice president heads to Metro Atlanta today for discussions on taxes and the economy. J.D. Vance is holding an event at a manufacturing plant in Peachtree City this afternoon. It's focused on tax changes, including in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. He's also set to address a Republican National Committee gathering in Atlanta earlier today. Second Lady Usha Vance will hold an event in Canton today as well. A new report finds Americans are reading drastically less than they used to.
A University of Florida study found daily reading for pleasure has dropped 40% over the last 20 years and could be due to the rise of digital media, less leisure time, and less access to books and libraries.
Michael George reports the researchers say reading for pleasure can support mental health, empathy, creativity, and lifelong learning. Well, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits for the first time surpasses expectations last week. The Labor Department says it received 235,000 initial requests. That is higher than what forecasters called for at about 225,000. It is 10:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we have live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
All right, Austin, spotty delays on 285 at this point, rolling from Clarkston into Tucker past trouble on the shoulder on 285 northbound at the outer loop north of Lawrenceville Highway. Easing up between Doraville, Dunwoody on the outer loop across the north side perimeter. Still seeing delays as you work your way away from I-75 heading into Sandy Springs on the inner loop. And I see a big rig on the shoulder causing the slowdown or contributing to the slowdown of the west side perimeter on the brakes 285 south below Chattahoochee River South Cobb Drive heading toward I-20. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid this afternoon. Scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms for the ride home. Today's high is 91, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, not as hot with a high of 84. Scattered rain showers for tomorrow afternoon. That'll continue into Saturday.
Right now it is 76 degrees in Sandy Springs, 77 in College Park, also 77 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The Core 4 with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down south, Vinny. Screens your calls. Coming up at 11:20. I'm very excited. Legendary actor and director Ron Howard is going to join us live. Continuous updates of the Epstein files and the Russia-Ukraine situation. Right now, though, I want to hammer a local story that popped up this morning on AJC.com, where I always start my show prep every morning, and it's a big local political story. Joining us live from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, our good friend Greg Bluestein. Greg, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Always a blast to be with you, Mark.
So we've been hyper focused on the big political races that are shaping up here in Georgia for the Senate seat and the governor's mansion. The headline today on AJC.com, why two top Georgia Republicans are in a court today fighting over money. And this is AG Chris Carr and Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, the two Republican candidates for governor. And they're in court battling over what exactly, Greg?
Yeah, fundraising. This goes back to a 2021 law that Governor Kemp supported back when he was worried that the state Republican Party wasn't going to do enough to help legislative candidates and help his own reelection bid. So they passed a law forming what we call leadership committees, and it's jargon. But basically, these are committees that allow candidates to raise unlimited cash, even during the legislative session, but only certain candidates. So that means only governors and nominees for governor, and only lieutenant governors and nominees for lieutenant governor, and only legislative leaders. You know who that leaves out? Attorney General Chris Carr, who's bringing that lawsuit, saying it's just unfair.
Interesting. So I didn't know that it was so narrow on who could raise these monies depending on what your current situation was. Why, in hindsight, why was it such a narrow ruling there, or new law that went into effect when it came to fundraising?
You know, I mean, you could all say that way back when those legislative leaders were already looking at a race in 2026, you know, because they are looking forward. But also, I think there were some lawmakers who wanted to limit it to just a handful of people, because if you let every statewide officer raise unlimited cash, it would even more change politics in Georgia. But I can tell you, Mark, it has already fundamentally reshaped politics here in Georgia. If you look at the last race for governor back in 2022, this law was in existence, and both Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp used these committees to raise nearly $100 million that they otherwise could not have raised, because there are conventional caps on, you know, your average donor donating to Governor Kemp's campaign committee can only donate, let's say, $13,000 for a primary and a runoff. Well, this means you could donate unlimited. You could donate $60 million if you want to. So money has a bigger influence in Georgia politics because of this law.
So, Greg, what's the difference between a leadership committee and like a super PAC?
Yeah, good question. Like a super PAC can't coordinate directly with the campaign.
Oh.
You know, it's out there. It's supposed to be independent. It can still do all these things to help a campaign, but it can't coordinate directly with the campaign. Whereas Governor Kemp's, he still has one, even though he's not running for re-election, obviously. But his leadership committee, he can use however he wants within of course, legal means, which means he can use it to go boost Derek Dooley or the Senate candidate of his choice or other legislative leaders. He can go promote ads boosting his campaign agenda. You know, he can use it to pay for staff and buy digital ads and do all those things directly. And he can also do that, raise money during the legislative session when candidates are typically not allowed. State officials cannot raise money during that legislative session.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, Greg, you mentioned Derek Dooley, Buddy Carter, Mike Collins running for Senate. They are not because they're running for Senate, or are they able to use these leadership committees?
Nope. It's only a very narrow subset of officials. And Stacey Abrams used it too, you know, when she was the nominee. Yeah. But she argued before she was the nominee it wasn't fair because she wasn't allowed to use it until she formally became the party's nominee. So it gives Burt Jones a huge fundraising edge. And he's already amassed $14 million in his leadership committee. $10 million of that is a loan that he wrote himself, but another $4 million, that's nothing to sneeze at.
So where is Chris Carr when it comes to fundraising? Behind him, I assume?
Yeah, Chris Carr got in the race really early. He got in the race last November, mostly so he could start building up that war chest because he knew this would be an issue. But he has a couple $1 million in his campaign coffers, so nothing to sneeze at. A lot more than, you know, a lot of candidates had at this stage in the 2018 race. But at the same time, it's going to be really hard if this law remains in effect for him to withstand Burt Jones's financial firepower with this edge that Burt Jones has, being able to raise unlimited cash.
Yeah, I mean, again, not playing favorites or anything, but you would hope there'd be a level playing field when it comes to fundraising for a position as important as the governor is. Greg Bluestein joining us live from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Are they in court right now, and why is it a federal court, not a state court?
Yeah, it's a federal court because this has also been litigated at the state level, but the federal judge there's been several federal cases already that have looked at this, so I think they're going through that avenue again. And it's federal court here in Atlanta today. So they're litigating it right now, and there's a lot of options this federal judge could take. He could, take a while to rule. The judge could issue a temporary restraining order saying, hey, while we wait to rule, no one can use this law. But from the Burt Jones camp, they'll say a couple things. They'll say, number one, hey, where was all this complaint when Chris Carr wasn't running for governor and he was the attorney general tasked with defending this law in court? And number two, he'll say, hey, this is part of the law, and everyone knew this was the law when it was passed by lawmakers, including Democrats who did not fight fiercely against this law way back. There was a lot of Democratic opposition, but it was not front and center of the Democratic agenda back then because they thought that Stacey Abrams could benefit from it as well.
And the political backdrop of all of this, Greg, hanging over this is the huge endorsement that Burt Jones got from President Trump. If Chris Carr is to have a chance in this race, does he need to be victorious in court here?
It would really help his campaign, and it would help his campaign for two reasons. One, of course, it would deny his opponent the ability to raise all this cash. But two, it would be a messaging victory because he's been trying to paint Burt Jones as using this secretive fund and taking advantage of this law and giving himself this own $10 million donation, which he says is mysterious. And they've been ethics complaints, so it would give him a messaging victory as well. But Chris Carr is under a tough bind because, as you mentioned, Trump backed his opponent, Burt Jones, who has a lot of money and a lot of name recognition as well. And then there's always the specter of another Republican getting in the race. That would be Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who kind of fished from the same pond as Chris Carr does for more mainstream, more center-right voters. Rather than the MAGA crowd that Burt Jones is looking to soak up.
Greg just stealing my next question, right? Like literally coming at because I was going to say the most interested party in this case might be the Secretary of State, right? Because if he does enter the race, he would not, if unless I'm wrong, would not be able to have this leadership committee to help him out either.
No, he would not either until, and by the way, this all changes when whoever becomes the nominee, if this law remains intact, does get this. So once you become the official nominee, but that's not till next year. But I will say Brad Raffensperger has something else. This would be an issue for him too, but he's also independently wealthy. So he's someone who could tap into his own personal fortune to fundraise his campaign. Chris Carr does not have that sort of wealth. So that's another sort of challenge that Chris Carr faces that neither Burt Jones nor Brad Raffensperger faces. He can't self-fund his campaign. Those two can dip into their own bank account and write themselves big checks.
Yeah, I was not aware of the wealth accumulated by the Secretary of State. We had Stephen Lawson in studio yesterday, and he mentioned that. And I was like, I had no idea. Do we know where Secretary of State built this this enormous wealth?
Yeah, he ran an engineering firm for a long time, long before he got into the office. He didn't even get, he's not a career politician by any means. He only joined the legislature shortly before he ran for Secretary of State. I think it was only 2 terms in the Georgia House. But he built a big company, and it sounds like, from at least the people around him, he's willing to dip into his own account, whether he runs for governor or Senate. I think it's more likely he runs for governor, but he's willing to go stroke himself a check that could help fund that gubernatorial campaign.
I had no idea. Yeah, good for him. Self-starting entrepreneur that built up a firm. All right, final question for you, Greg, because I know you're in the newspaper biz. You're always on a deadline. What kind of timing are we expecting from this federal court? Do we expect a decision too soon? And if so, will that get appealed? What's the process moving forward?
Yeah, there's a slight chance we get some sort of, temporary restraining order type ruling today where, hey, I'm going to basically block this law from taking effect until I get more time to hash out a ruling. But there's also a chance that we could wait for a couple weeks, months even, for a more definitive ruling. And all the while, Burt Jones and everyone else, and Burt Jones is not the only one using these types of committees. They all can keep on raising that money.
Can a talk show host have one of these leadership committees to help?
Talk to Brian Kemp about that one.
Gotcha. All right, Greg, on Twitter, X @Bluestein. You're on Blue Sky yet?
I'm on Blue Sky.
Well, I'm on there and I'm posting, and it's like I'm talking to nobody. Can you?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a big following there. Can you just thank me on Blue Sky so I get some more followers over there or something?
I'm going to do that this moment right now.
All right, Greg just got started the show. Greg, great stuff as always, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, there you go. So I mean that's big. Again, no horse in this race for me, but I think if you're running for any political office, you should have the same access to fundraising as anyone else. It doesn't matter if you're running for the governor, or lieutenant governor, or secretary of state, or state rep, or senate. Like, why shouldn't the Senate candidates? Why can't Mike Collins, Buddy Carter, and Derek Dooley have these leadership committees? It means nothing to me. I am never in my life going to exceed the personal $13,000 contribution. Longoria could run for governor, and I'll support you with all my might. I don't have the ability to stroke a $13,000. So none of this, I'm never going to have to funnel money to a leadership committee to do it. But interesting. All right, so we're going to monitor that. The court battle going on right now between AG Chris Carr and Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. Quick break. We're going to come back and update our top local stories. First and foremost, though, oh, good grief. Is it Smiling or is it Little Guy?
Smiling.
Good morning, Smiling Mark McKay.
Good morning, Mark. Downtown Atlanta still feeling the effects of morning drive as we're still slow on the connector northbound, leaving University Avenue exit 244 up to I-20. Downtown Atlanta will be the first stop for the VP visit today, coming into Hartsfield. VP Vance somewhere in the 11 o'clock hour, and of course expect those rolling roadblocks into and through the city, and then down south through Peachtree City later this afternoon. Traffic team will be all over it. We're seeing delays out of Buckhead and Brookhaven where 85 and 400 meet. 85 slow down to 17th Street Atlantic Station. This report sponsored by International Hot Rod Association. International Hot Rod Association and Durana, hybrid reigniting racing and skilled trades, mentorship, education, legacy. Get your tickets now at ihra.com. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here, co-host of The Car Guys with my good friend and brother, Kevin Deutsch, from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Whatever you want to know about buying, selling, leasing, or maintaining a vehicle, Kevin has your answers.
That's right, Shelley. For over 40 years, I've sold, leased, fixed, and financed pretty much every make and model. I've seen it all. If you have any car questions, we'll have the answers every Saturday at noon.
It's The Car Guys, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, brought to you by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
Hey friends, when was the last time you hopped out of bed without your knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step? Let me guess, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, it'll disappear, I'll tough it out, but nothing ever changes, does it? Hey, it's Mark Air. Time to call and schedule that free consultation with the medical pros at QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Bring your x-rays and your MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. 770-285-8026. Ask about that free consultation. 770-285-8026.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
The end of summer doesn't have to be the end of your fun. Your backyard can be your family's happy place all year long in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our huge Labor Day sale with instant rebates up to $2,500 and special financing for 60 months. Hurry, offer ends September 3rd. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of Brown'sPools.com.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's best choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's best choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
10:23 on the Mark Arum Show, coming up in less than 1 hour, 11:20-ish. Ron Howard's going to join us live. Opie, Richie Cunningham, and maybe the greatest living director. I don't know. He's got a new movie coming out, but Ron Howard's going to join us live at 11:20. Great stuff there from our buddy Greg Bluestein. All right, so wildlife story. So yesterday, Deborah, I get home. I've got a routine. I'll go home. I'll walk the dogs. I'll have a snack, binge watch a show, and then I start ramping up for my nap. And I usually go outside for a little bit. I've got a chair that is set up, in the shade, and I just hang out and enjoy Mother Nature and check emails and see what's going on. And usually the dogs come out with me. For whatever reason, the dogs didn't come out with me yesterday for my last little fresh air before my nap. And I'm on my phone, not really paying attention, and I look up, and I see this big bird in my backyard. I thought it was a turkey, like that huge, like it was that big. It turns out it was a hawk, the biggest hawk I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh my, I was stunned at the size. I really thought it was a turkey. It was that big. And I pull up my phone to take a picture of it. And I don't know if that movement jilted him a little bit, or her. I don't know what the gender of the hawk was.
It's gender neutral.
And I'm assuming it's a gender neutral hawk. But it flew to a branch on my property, like a fallen tree branch, and it was hanging out there. And then I took a video of it as it flew away. I was watching it. It was on this branch for like 5 minutes. It was so big. And then I took a video of it, and I posted that video. I just put it on my Instagram story at Mark Arum. I'm assuming it's a hawk. I don't know. It was a monster bird. But thankfully, like normally, Soba and Deuce come out with me in my little last, but they go hurry poopies before I take my nap. But for some reason, they didn't. And
Maybe they knew that it was out there.
Maybe. But that hawk was so big, it would have scooped Soba up with that. It would have, our buddy little Gnocchi could have been scooped up by this hawk. It was that big. So I'm just so thankful that Soba wasn't out with me. because she's a hunter, right? A hound dog.
Yeah.
They're hunters. She might have gone after the hawk, which would have been a horrible, horrible move. Anyway, I posted, and then in hindsight, I realized, because usually I went out in the backyard around that time, like 2:30, 3 p.m., right before nap time. The birds are chirping, the squirrels are running around. Like, it's like Jack Hanna's Wild Kingdom in my backyard. I'm like, what's that cartoon? Who's was it Snow White, where all the birds come out? And
Oh, yeah.
it's like Snow White in my
Cinderella,
backyard.
I think.
But after I realized, once the hawk, I was like, there were no other bird sounds. Squirrels were hiding. It was crazy. Like apex predator hawk. If any of you bird experts want to check out my Instagram story and let me know what's up, it's at Mark Arum, MarkArum. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3. We got more on Hurricane Aaron. And you're not going to believe what a commercial airliner did during the hurricane. We got the details next on the Mark Arum Show.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top local story, one suspect has now been arrested, 2 others, those still on the run after a burglary and shooting incident at Dunwoody's Perimeter Mall earlier this morning. Dunwoody Police Sergeant Michael Cheek says the suspect stole multiple high-end luxury handbags.
They entered the mall and then went into a store called Request Boutique. When they came outside, they saw that the mall security vehicle, unoccupied, jumped in it, stole it, and started to leave the scene.
Sergeant Chink says they then fled in that vehicle, eventually driving directly at officers during a short pursuit. Officers fired back at the suspects in that car, who later crashed and fled on foot. One suspect's been arrested and is being treated for a gunshot wound. Walmart says it had a strong second quarter.
The retail giant's profits and sales topped Wall Street estimates. Sales were up 4.6% from a year ago. Walmart's chief financial officer says consumers continue to be very resilient. The retailer is raising its full-year earnings and sales outlooks, even though the tariffs have pushed its costs higher and forced it to increase its prices on some items.
Michael Wallace reports about a third of the items Walmart sells come from overseas. Fulton County commissioners go against a court order and refuse to seat Republican nominees on the County Board of Elections.
With 3 commissioners absent, the vote was 2-2 on party lines against approving Jason Frazier and Julie Adams. Both Republicans have a past history of challenging ballots and election results. Commissioner Bridget Thorne says that's not evidence of election denial.
Julie Adams, her lawsuit was, I need information to make sure that the number of people voted equals the number of ballots cast. That's called integrity. That's called checks and balances. That's called transparency.
Commissioners risk jail time and daily fines for refusing the court order, which came after the Republican Party sued over previous rejections. That ruling has been appealed. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Well, cases of respiratory illnesses are now on the rise in Georgia. The State Department of Public Health tells WSB that COVID-19 activity is higher now than it was in the winter, but still relatively low compared to surges in previous years. The state tracks activity based on hospital visits, so the number of cases may actually be much higher. Health officials urge parents and kids to stay home if they're sick and have a fever. Out now, Google releases a new paper detailing the environmental impacts of its AI chatbot called Google Gemini.
According to Google, an average Gemini query uses 0.24 watt-hours of energy, the equivalent to watching less than 9 seconds of television, consumes about 5 drops of water, and emits about 0.03 grams of carbon dioxide equivalent.
Tracy Wolf reports Gemini is incorporated into most modern Android smartphones. Vice President J.D. Vance will visit Metro Atlanta today.
The vice president is expected to make 2 stops in Metro Atlanta today, the first at a Republican National Committee meeting and another this afternoon at a manufacturing facility in Peachtree City. There, he's expected to meet with workers and community members to highlight what his office calls the historic tax cuts delivered for working-class families from the administration's One Big Beautiful Bill. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Meanwhile, Second Lady Usha Vance will hold an event today in Canton. It is 10:33, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Construction up and running north side perimeter. We have it on the jam cam of the right lane on 285 westbound and near Riverside Drive, heading to North Side Powers Ferry, exit 22. Extra slow leaving Georgia 400 because of that road work being done on the right side of the interstate. Downtown, Midtown Atlanta traffic, you're seeing slowing on 75-85 northbound, leaving University Avenue up to I-20. 85 400 slow heading into the middle of the city. And if you're seeing an awareness out there of Georgia State Patrol and other law enforcement agencies along the downtown connector and such, Vice President Vance expected around lunchtime at Hartsfield-Jackson. First stop, the heart of downtown Atlanta. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, hot and humid, high 91. Scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms through this afternoon and evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy downpours. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 84. Staying cloudy on Saturday, high 82.
79 degrees right now in Decatur, 78 in Vinings, also 78 degrees in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
That's awesome. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
begins Monday, August 25th.
That's amazing.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Winds whipping along the North Carolina coast. Coming up next, we'll update Hurricane Aaron. And why are people mad that Cracker Barrel changed their logo? We'll discuss next on The Mark Arum Show.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Imagine the relief of windows without annoying drafts or high energy bills. Window Comfort's making it easier than ever with buy two, get two free, no payments till 2026, and expert one-day installation. Go to windowcomfort.com for your no-pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep?
Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex, creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. If you listen to my show each Saturday, we cover Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate related. So, whether you're buying your dream home or selling your current one, hiring the right agent is essential. The Agency Atlanta is the iconic brokerage that is revolutionizing real estate worldwide. We pair global resources with decades of hyper-local Atlanta market expertise to deliver results. If you're selling your home, we'll help you showcase your property and maximize your return. If you're buying, we'll guide you through every step to secure the perfect home for your lifestyle. Either way, we would love to earn the privilege of being your agent. So, if you're looking for that perfect Buckhead bungalow, that Alpharetta estate, an in-town condo, or suburban bliss, visit InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
When you need quality professional tree work, choose Heath Tree Service. Hi, I'm Jimmy Heath. My father started Heath Tree Service over 60 years ago, and we're still family owned. Certified arborists and experts with trees. Find us at HeathTreeService.com.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Next hour, Ron Howard joining us live on the program. Opie, Richie Cunningham, one of the greatest directors of all time, Mr. Howard live, 11:20 right here on the Mark Arum Show. I want to update Hurricane Aaron. It is a Cat 2 right now off the East Coast. Aaron is an unusually large hurricane, making it more capable of delivering dangerous conditions at beaches along the East Coast, even though it is expected to stay well offshore. I want to update Aaron. The reason I'm playing this story, Deborah, is because it takes place. The reporter is hanging out in New York's Far Rockaway Beach. That's where my dad grew up. Yeah, so I want to get the latest from ABC's Jaysha Patel on Far Rockaway Beach.
Red flags are going to be up on beaches, warning people to stay out of the water, and that's because the waves and the riptides are definitely going to be dangerous today and tomorrow. Now, New York City closed its beaches to swimming yesterday and today, and New York Governor Kathy Hochul ordered 3 state beaches on Long Island to prohibit swimming through today, and several New Jersey beaches are also off limits.
We've been monitoring the horrific riptides being created by Aaron, and I've been seeing Deborah on all the, like even on the morning shows today on ABC and NBC and Fox, all these jackwagons that are still in the water.
Oh, I know.
Like, we got to catch a wave, bro, or whatever. That was a horrible kind of thing. But I understand. I'm sure there's a rush from surfing big waves that you don't normally see, but you could die. I only know one surfer, Allison Mastrangelo from Channel 2. Maybe I should reach out to her and see if she would be one of those I don't think so. She's very intelligent. The allure of the big wave, is that worth risking your life? I guess maybe if you're Bodie from Point Break, maybe it is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. One hurricane-related story, and I don't intentionally mean to throw shade on this airline. Obviously, I am uber loyal to Delta Airlines, my favorite airline, our hometown airline. That's my preferred 99% of the time, and I'm flying Delta. I've never flown Spirit, and I don't wish them ill will. I just have no reference, but it seems like there's bad Spirit stories all the time. The latest one is related to Hurricane Aaron, Deborah. What's going on here?
Yeah, a Spirit airline flight is getting a lot of attention after directly flying through Hurricane Aaron. So this was a flight from Philadelphia, supposed to go down to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and it flew right through the hurricane as it was coming over Turks and Caicos, and it was still categorized as a Cat 4 at the time. So now they're saying,
And it was able to go through. There were no injuries reported. They arrived safely at the destination, but the National Hurricane Center noted that anything over 130, obviously severe turbulence, it could destabilize the aircraft. I mean, it was really dangerous for him to do it. And then also within these storms, you have lightning strikes. I mean, that's bad enough to drive through. So they're getting a lot of attention for going through the hurricane. And it doesn't say how many people were aboard. So we don't know, like, if the people were happy that they were able to get to Puerto Rico on time or if they were scared.
They did it for the gram. They were like, yeah, this is great. Like, that's a passenger jet. You know, they have the Hurricane, and Christina Edwards will have more knowledge on this, but they have those Hurricane Hunter planes, right? But those aren't
those
just
are different.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what the reasoning was. Was the pilot? Was there no other way? Like, we don't have enough fuel to fly around this Category 4 hurricane.
Don't we get redirected and delayed all the time here for just rain?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, goodness gracious, how much turbulence would have been in there? And a Cat 4, like, that's legitimate. I wonder if it could have gone one of either two ways. Like, the passengers were throwing up and they're really mad, or they're like, oh, our flight's going to be on time now because this guy or girl, whoever's flying the plane, was like, yeah, we're just going straight through the hurricane. Crazy story. Any updates on Aaron, we will provide them for you here on WSB. Do want to head back to D.C. It's been in the news a lot. President Trump's federal takeover of D.C. police continues with his deployment of National Guards troops set to expand with the addition of over 1,000 troops that a number of governors have promised to send. Despite crime data to the contrary, the president says he and his allies say the move is necessary for public safety. CBS News political reporter Torianne Small has more.
Republicans are firmly behind Donald Trump when it comes to this takeover. We've heard from Representative Comer, the oversight chairman, that he is readying a legislative package that would address some D.C. laws. A part of that is also reinforcing this takeover edict by a joint resolution. Now, whether or not there will be enough support across chambers for that to actually go forward and extend this is another thing.
Yeah, let's stay on Capitol Hill with correspondent Scott McFarland.
It's getting really militarized really fast here in Washington, D.C. By the end of the week, there's an estimate that there'll be 2,000 plus National Guard troops in some part of the District of Columbia. That's about 2/3 the size of the police department itself. It's an enormous force. And at this moment in time, you're not seeing them far and wide. Where are they going to put 2,000 people is an open question people are asking here.
I want to know how many troops we had in Fallujah compared to what we have in D.C. right now. It seems like this is overkill. Again, I'm not there. And as I've said consistently, I defer to the local D.C. Police Department. Hey, we want to make the streets safer. Will National Guard troops help you accomplish that? If the answer is yes, then all right. If the answer is no, they don't know how to police, you're not going to have National Guard troops investigating a crime scene, right? They don't have that skill set. I don't know. It seems like a lot right now. And people and troops from West Virginia, National Guard from West Virginia. I would think National Guard troops are might be better served doing stuff in West Virginia than just patrolling the Washington Monument in D.C. But obviously there's no let up there. More troops heading to the nation's capital. We'll see if indeed cuts crime. I mean, I guess it's a deterrent, right? If you are a pickpocket, you are a burglar, you want to hold up a gas station, a bodega, a mom and pop restaurant, you might think twice if you're like seeing National Guard troops rolling down the street. So maybe it's just a great deterrent, but I defer to the expert of the police department. What do the cops on the ground want? Do they want National Guard troops, or do they want FBI agents or U.S. Marshals or folks that are actually trained in law enforcement? But obviously a story worth monitoring. President Trump says he wants to expand it. I'm curious to see if Atlanta would be in the president's crosshairs when it comes to National Guard aiding the Atlanta Police Department. All right, totally unrelated story. You know I'm a big fan of Cracker Barrel, and I guess this story popped up yesterday, Deborah. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. Cracker Barrel's changing their logo. Some might call it an iconic logo, and they're receiving a ton of backlash. I saw the updated logo. It's kind of holds true to the original, but why are people so upset about the new Cracker Barrel logo?
Well, it's just there seems to be a lot of drama at the Cracker Barrel. First fans were excited because they updated or they brought back some menu favorites, but then they've changed like the decor of the restaurant, so it doesn't feel the same. It's a little less homey, more sterile. And now the latest thing is that they've updated the logo. So we're used to seeing like a man resting on a barrel and then the words Cracker Barrel in this gold and brown coloring, and they've used that since 1977, so since before a lot of us can remember. But the logo now is just the name Cracker Barrel. It does use the same colors, still so gold and brown, but it's kind of a simpler, cleaner font, and then it uses like an emblem shape in the background, which is very modern with graphics going on right now. And this is all part of this like $700 million investment to appeal to a younger audience, but the younger audience kind of said they liked it the old way.
Yeah, so I'm looking at, I think the changes inside the restaurant are more important than the logo change.
Yeah.
So I'll tweet out the picture of the logo. The old version had the dude on the chair with his elbow resting on a barrel, and then below it said Old Country Store. The new logo doesn't have Old Country Store. Got rid of the guy, the chair, and the barrel. So it's a cleaner look. I don't know why they felt the necessity. I guess are they pulling back on highlighting the Old Country Store portion of Cracker Barrel? As long as I can get the Uncle Herschel platter still Uncle Herschel's platter. Vinny, you are the biggest Cracker Barrel stan, I believe, of the core four. Are you mad they changed the logo?
I'm mad. Yeah, it's just boring.
Unnecessary.
It's boring.
It's unnecessary. And it's boring.
All right. As long as the food, to me, it's just about the food. This isn't like. As far as I know, the change of the logo isn't like Aunt Jemima changing their name and
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that.
anyway. I know. I haven't hash brown. I hope Ashley Frasca is not listening because the hash brown casserole at Cracker Barrel is the best of the best of the best.
Uh-oh.
By the way, so listen, Ashley's a close number 2, but hash brown casserole is at Cracker Barrel is the best of the best of the best. In my bachelor days, I would go and get a tray of it and just eat that for a week. That was my meal prep. A tray like a huge tray of Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. Now, I said that again, the best of the best of the best. I was talking about earlier in the show the 2 Georgia schools that ranked among the best of the, and I was like, where am I getting that from? I got a text, and speaking of Frasca, she's going to be doubly mad at me because her husband, John Frasca, is getting star of the show today because he texted me this clip. Because I know I've heard this before, the best of the best of the best. It's from this famous movie.
I'm sorry, maybe you already answered this, but why exactly are we here?
Sean? Second Lieutenant Jake Jensen, West Point, graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir. What's so funny, Edwards?
Your boy Captain America over here. The best of the best of the best, sir. With honors. He's just really excited, and he has no clue why we're here. That's very funny to me.
The best of the best of the... That's a great movie. Please tell me you've seen Men in Black, Vinny. Was it as bad as The Matrix?
No, Men in Black is better.
There you go. All right. Anyway, thanks to... And then I went on Twitter, and a bunch of people tweeted at me, so I appreciate it. But John Frasca gets star of the show for being a loyal listener and doing the homework for me and sending me the clip there to play. All right, coming back, updating our top local stories and what's going on right now between Russia and Ukraine. Right now, though, let's hit them streets. Checking the ride around town on this Thursday morning. Hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Just found some construction up between Ackworth and Kennesaw. 75 southbound passing Wade Green Road, exit 273, right lane block there, causing a slow zone. Going to check on possibly new trouble 85 southbound, just south of Georgia 400, keeping you on the brake lights as you make your way out of Buckhead. And we also have right lane construction in Sandy Springs, 285 westbound, the outer loop new North Side Drive, Powers Ferry Road, exit number 22. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda's proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. If you listen to my show each Saturday, we cover Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate related. So, whether you're buying your dream home or selling your current one, hiring the right agent is essential. The Agency Atlanta is the iconic brokerage that is revolutionizing real estate worldwide. We pair global resources with decades of hyper-local Atlanta market expertise to deliver results. If you're selling your home, we'll help you showcase your property and maximize your return. If you're buying, we'll guide you through every step to secure the perfect home for your lifestyle. Either way, we would love to earn the privilege of being your agent. So, if you're looking for that perfect Buckhead bungalow, that Alpharetta estate, an in-town condo, or suburban bliss, visit InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780. Don't wait. Call now. 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
But you didn't even notice.
B98.5, the best of the 90s, 2K, and no, today. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. That's Casey Musgraves, who I'm assuming is heard on B98.
She's more of a country singer, but
Oh,
possibly,
cool.
yeah.
All right. She turns 37 years old today. That's Rainbow, one of her hits. We updated the Spirit flying into the hurricane story. One more aviation-related story. The TSA says new items will be banned by the TSA. Things you can no longer bring through security. Number one on the list, Deborah, that cracks me up. You can no longer bring live lobsters through the TSA.
Oh, no, actually, you can bring live lobsters through, yeah.
So you weren't able to before, and now you can?
Well, basically, they're just adding that you can't bring your cordless hairdryer with you. If you have to have your specific cordless hairdryer, the older ones use like gas cartridges and butane, so they're not going to be allowed. But if you do have a live lobster, TSA says, yeah, that's okay. You can bring that through.
Only if you're 16.
Yeah, you got to be 16 to travel with the. All right, so what? All right, I was confused because I saw the list. I thought these were new items banned. No, but these are.
These are things that you can take with you.
All right, what else is on the list of?
Okay, so
aside
if you're
from the
traveling and you want to decorate for Christmas, you are allowed to bring Christmas lights with you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, when Andrew comes to visit his family in Texas, he can bring back some cowboy spurs for the show.
All right.
Oh, nice.
I guess they could be.
Which is funny because they could be considered weapons. in a lot of places,
they're box cutter-ish. Okay.
Mm-hmm. If Charlie ever shoots a deer, he can bring back some antlers.
Antlers are allowed. Okay.
Uh-huh.
They can also
lightsabers and Harry Potter wands when you go visit some of the theme parks. Those are allowed with you.
All right.
I know that this might affect you. You love your coffee. Do you have an espresso maker? Because if you do, you're allowed to bring that with you as well.
I do. One of the greatest gifts of my life was the Nespresso machine that Mark McKay got me for my wedding gift.
Oh, the one we weren't invited
to.
The
one. Well, one of Longoria was definitely invited. Deborah's might have gotten lost in the mail, but that was I still use that thing. That's a fantastic coffee machine. All right, one more thing we can bring through TSA, Deborah.
All right, waffle iron. If you got to have your waffle iron with you, you are allowed to bring that through.
All right, the lobster and waffles. Oh, Is that the new chicken and waffles?
Ooh.
Batter dipped fried lobster tail on top of a waffle.
With a little espresso on the side.
$1 million idea. I just gave it. Buckhead Life. Take it and run. They've got a great fried lobster tail. I'm sure they can whip up a waffle. Lobster and waffles. The new food trend. It's going viral in 2026, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show. News, weather, and traffic when we come back. Major changes, perhaps, to how we determine the unemployment rate. Big changes come to the labor statistics. Mike Sasso from Bloomberg News, live next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Back to school means back to the grind for your family, but it also means back to the grind for your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. If your old garage door is getting a failing grade, we can help. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of it. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
I feel for you, fellas. I really do. Whether it's a receding hairline, a bald spot, or thinning hair, you're just dealing with what Mother Nature gave you. But there is a solution from my friends at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Guaranteed your new hair will grow. So whether it's that receding hairline, the bald spot, or you just want to add volume to thinning hair, Advanced Hair is is the place to do it. And check out this amazing savings right now. Their best offer ever. It's their summer savings event on for a limited time. I want you to get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results with advanced hair, your new hair guaranteed to grow. And check out the incredible before and after pictures. Take advantage of their best offer ever online at advancedhair.com.
Congratulations to our friends at Cars for Kids on 30 amazing years of charity excellence, helping over 100,000 kids nationwide. Donate your unused car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million proud donors. That's Cars with a K.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top local story, police arrest one suspect while they search for two more after a burglary and shooting at Perimeter Mall.
Dunwoody Police Sergeant Michael Cheek explains what the suspects were after when they entered the Request Boutique in the mall.
They stole a bunch of very high-end luxury handbags.
Sergeant Cheek says the crooks used an unoccupied security vehicle as their getaway. He says they intentionally drove the vehicle at police. That's when officers opened fire. The vehicle eventually crashed.
One of the suspects that we believe to be a suspect emerged from the wood line on his own.
Police say that suspect was taken into custody and is now being treated for a bullet wound. Two others remain at large. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It's 79 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Another partly cloudy day today in the metro. Pop-up storms are possible this afternoon. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. An elderly Marietta man's recovering after being attacked inside his own home. Cobb County Police Officer Aaron Wilson says the 77-year-old victim had returned to his Marietta home to find a man he knew there without his permission. That's when the suspect hit him in the head with a piece of wood.
The victim managed to escape to the sidewalk where officers later found him.
Wilson says the suspect was later tracked to Shallowford Road using license plate recognition cameras. He was arrested without incident. 3 Navy warships are being deployed to the South American coast. The White House says they'll target drug cartels, and it also sends a signal to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who the White House accuses of being one of the most prolific drug traffickers in the world.
The Navy has always supported the Coast Guard in drug interdiction, but this time the guided missile destroyers will have the authority to intercept drug smugglers themselves.
Michael Wallace reports the move comes after the U.S. recently doubled its reward for info, leading to Maduro's arrest, now at $50 million. Vice President J.D. Vance is heading to Metro Atlanta today to speak to Georgians about taxes and the economy. Vance will first speak to a Republican National Committee gathering in Atlanta. He'll then hold an event at a manufacturing plant in Peachtree City where he'll discuss the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Second Lady Usha Vance holds an event in Canton today as well. Category 2 Hurricane Erin inches further north up the Atlantic, creating dangerous surf conditions across the East Coast. It's not expected to make landfall on the mainland U.S.
The National Hurricane Center posted an advisory saying that storm surge, flooding, and tropical storm conditions are expected in North Carolina Outer Banks through today.
Jaysha Patel reports coastal communities up and down the East Coast are all bracing for waves and possible flooding. A California parole board's considering the fate of the Menendez brothers convicted of killing their parents in California in 1989. They were resentenced earlier this year to make way for the possibility of parole. The Los Angeles District Attorney says his office will make a final position based on the evidence presented at the hearings. That's all after consistently opposing their release. The Fulton County Jail's hit with major flooding just hours after county commissioners give the okay on a more than $1 billion plan to renovate it. Sheriff Pat Labatt says the latest incident's a major problem.
And this is literally water coming up out the floor. So we're also asking that it be tested to make sure that there's no sewage.
The rain leaves a few inches of rain or water in a section of the jail housing about 200 inmates. A new study finds Americans aren't reading as much as they used to. Researchers at the University of Florida say daily reading for pleasure has dropped 40% over the last 20 years. The study cites digital media, less leisure time, and less access to books and libraries as possible reasons for that drop. It is 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, Live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Austin, watching brake lights on 75 southbound northwest of town between Ackworth and Kennesaw. You got right lane construction passing Wade Green Road, exit 273. Also right lane construction in Sandy Springs, 285 westbound, the outer loop between Riverside Drive and New Northside Powers Ferry. That's why you're seeing some extra volume from Georgia 400. And 85 northbound had some earlier trouble up around Beaver Ruin Road, so that ride's trying to recover through Norcross, leaving Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid this afternoon. Scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms for the ride home. Today's high is 91, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, not as hot with a high of 84. Scattered rain showers for tomorrow afternoon. That'll continue into Saturday.
It's 81 degrees in Stockbridge, also 81 in Alpharetta, and 79 degrees in Midtown. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on the Mark Arum Show coming up in 15 minutes. Iconic director Ron Howard's going to join us live. We're going to check in with Mike Sasso from Bloomberg News in just a second. But I want to piggyback on a story that Austin Eller just closed his newscast, his award-winning newscast out with, talking about reading habits of Americans. I think I'm contributing to that. I used to be a voracious reader. Like a book a week was my goal every year. So I would knock out 52. And Deborah, I can't remember the last book I read. It's been replaced by binging these amazing shows on Netflix and stuff like that. Here's the question I have. In this study, what do they count audiobooks as? Like for example, Deborah, you pass on, you go to the pearly gates, St. Peter's, like, what are your 5 favorite books to get into heaven? Like, that you've read, he says. That I want to quote the St. Peter exactly. What are the 5 favorite books you've read? Do you include a book that you listen to on an audiobook on that list? Does it count as having read a book if you listen to it?
I mean, it should, because there are visually impaired people, so they might need to have audiobooks. And there's also people out there that don't have the ability to read. I think sometimes we take that for granted. So listening to a book, could you still get the imagination and the story out of it?
Okay, so for the blind and illiterate, St. Peter will let you go on. But
Yeah,
for those that
for the
are
rest of
literate,
us.
like Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with Deborah. I think, obviously it makes sense for that situation. But I think for me, for example, Mark, like I'm kind of the same as you. When I was younger, I read books constantly. I think a book a week was about the same that I used to do. And now, as a working adult, I might read somewhere between 6 to 10 books a year, which is nowhere near what I used to. But I mean, I don't know that I would consider, for me personally, an audiobook as reading time necessarily.
Yeah, is it stolen valor?
Yeah.
Like it takes effort to read a book.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll discuss later. Mike Sasso's like, why am I on the Mark Arum Show right now? Mike, good morning. Another voracious reader is Mike Sasso from Bloomberg News. How are you, Mike?
Good morning. I'd like to read more books than I do. I definitely read a ton of articles, so that's for sure.
Same, exactly. Well, that's the thing. We have to do so much reading for our jobs that pleasure reading is just off the table. You've been doing a lot of research on what's going on with the labor statistics. They've been in the news, obviously. Poor labor numbers came out with the revisions. President Trump axed the head statistician. Might we see possible changes on how those numbers are cooked going forward?
Yeah. Well, for those who maybe haven't paid attention, President Trump was none too happy a couple weeks ago when the Bureau of Labor Statistics, revised the number of jobs being created downward from a relatively respectable level to kind of barely a crawl. So it didn't reflect the best on the president's stewardship of the economy, or it seemed like he didn't think so. So that has created a lot of angst around, are this data that we all rely on good or not? And some of it, while a lot of economists did criticize the president, suggesting it was a politicization of economic data, a lot of them actually say that these numbers could be done better, or there's different ways that they can revise the data. And we'll have to see how many. There are some things being talked about now. We'll have to see how many actually get done.
So possibly a change in the methodology of how we determine who has jobs and who doesn't.
Yeah, well, one of the kind of the most interesting, I don't know if you call it controversial or not, but it would entail paying people to respond. And it was an economist who gave me a quote, something like, we're trying to survey people on the phone just as everyone hates getting surveyed or hates talking on the phone. And so it's created an idea. There's a fledgling effort to try to pay people to take surveys. That, of course, comes with its own headaches. You could kind of inject what they call sample bias. So that means if people have don't have a lot to do, or maybe because they're unemployed or whatever, or they just lower income, maybe they'd be more inclined to do a survey if you paid them, and so that creates some bias. Are you overweighting that sample of people? And so that's one of the ways. And then there's also other ways, like just creating like a super agency of stats, like a U.S. stats super agency.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
In Canada, and I didn't know this until recently, but Canada has something called Statistics Canada. And so that all kinds of, you can look there from birth stats to death stats to trade to all kinds of migration patterns. Every stat in the world is done by Statistics Canada, where in America we have 13 separate agencies that have stats units. So you've got an education stats department, a transportation stats, of course, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's under labor, and then you have the Bureau of Economic Analysis. There's a bunch of them, and it doesn't seem entirely rational to have these all separated. So
seems like a job for Doge to consolidate all of the statistic bureaus.
I don't want to touch that one, Mark.
Understood. So, Mike, I mean, I didn't know about maybe the hiccups in the methodology, but my concern has been that we get these jobs numbers. All right, the June numbers have been released. And then 3 months later, there are revisions, up or down, sideways. I mean, it's always been the way it is. My thought or suggestion was, well, if you have the June numbers and they're not finished yet, wait until September to release the June numbers when you know what they actually are, so there's no confusion and you don't have to revise them down the road.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. There's a new President Trump wants a fellow named E.J. Antoni, who is kind of a right-wing economist. He wants to tap him as the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so he'd be in charge of the monthly jobs numbers. And Mr. Antoni has suggested delaying the release of the monthly jobs figures until just what you said, until perhaps by a couple months. That got a lot of pushback. There are all kinds of, there are hedge fund traders and there are bureaucrats and all kinds of people who rely on those monthly data, and it factors into how the Federal Reserve and whether they raise or lower interest rates. So there was nobody outside of a handful of people really thought that was a good idea, but that has been kicked around.
All right. Interesting story. We'll continue to follow. Mike Sasso, Bloomberg News. Mike, appreciate your time, my friend.
Sure.
There you go. Mike, very, very emotional. You could hear it in his voice, Deborah. He's very emotional about the labor. All right. Speaking of, let's assume, again, I understand there's criticisms. I didn't know that they're actually having to pay people to get the numbers. They absolutely should look at the methodology. But we should remind ourselves that we are, especially here in Georgia, we have historically low unemployment rates. Like, it's crazy low. I can't remember unemployment rates being this low in my entire life, and I'm long in the tooth. For those of you that do have jobs, congratulations. What do you think is the perfect salary? American workers were asked what the perfect salary is. Any guess, Longoria, what the perfect salary? The average American said this is the perfect salary.
I don't know. $50,000?
$50,000. You, if we were playing Price is Right, you'd still be alive. It's higher than that, Deborah. $74,000 is what Americans think is the perfect salary. Why do they pick that number, Deborah?
Well, it just says the average American says $74,000 would make them happy. Not overly, rich, I guess, but still enough to get by. But 50% of them said that their current paycheck doesn't actually support the lifestyle that they want, even if they have that $74,000. And a lot of people are looking for new jobs, but they haven't been able to find anything to meet that higher paycheck, and they want things like better benefits, better work-life balance, and more flexibility.
It just in my experience, the perfect salary is relative, right? When I started here, I made $8 an hour, $8 an hour, 4 hours a day, $32 a day before taxes. And in my mind, the perfect salary, I'm like, oh, if I can make $12 an hour, like that's huge. That would be huge, life-changing money. I got to $12 an hour. I was like, this is great. But if I could get to 15 an hour, that would be the perfect. And then I skipped that. Chris Campbell out of nowhere, off the top rope, was like $17 an hour. I was like, let it rain. Like, but
I'm going to retire.
But it's all relative, because what like say. To some, the average American is like 74,000 is the perfect. Like that's all I need. I'll be happy. You give that person $74,000. 6 months later, they're like, $100K would. It's all relative.
Your demands change as your life changes too. So $74,000 to a person who's just single has a completely different lifestyle than a person with a family.
Absolutely, it's all relative. Because someone making $25,000, they're like, ooh, $74,000. That's the chef's kiss. That's the number. If I can get there. But for someone currently making $74,000, they're like, 95. It's.
I think we're wired to not want more, but just want more to provide.
Yeah, it's survival of the fittest. Yeah. Exactly right. Star of the show, Andrew Longoria, bringing Darwinism into the mix. When we come back, I'm very excited. Oscar-winning actor, director Ron Howard is going to join us live in the Mark Arum Show. That is coming up after a quick break and a check of construction delays in Kennesaw. Live with the latest, Alex Williams.
Yeah, right lane construction 75 southbound, passing Wade Green Road, exit 273, causing the brake lights out of Ackworth. And we also have traffic pacing 285 southbound, the outer loop, approaching I-20, exit 10 over on the west side. And just getting word that Vice President J.D. Vance has landed here in Atlanta. So I will be watching for those road closures on I-85 in the downtown connector heading north toward the heart of the city. Traffic brought to you by Audible. Stuck in traffic? Audible's Romance Collection will have you falling fast in the slow lane. Satisfy every side of you with rom-coms, romanticy, and the real steamy stuff. Listen free with a 30-day trial at audible.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
WSB's looking for a home for Smidgen. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News, and she is our dog of the month. With Paws Atlanta, we're looking for Smidgen's new family. Sweet brown and white mixed breed, about 2, great for older kids. Meet her at WSBRadio.com. Our sponsor, Findlay Roofing, will pay the adoption fee for you, too. WSBRadio.com/dog.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It's not going away, that spot you're trying to ignore on the ceiling, and it's only going to get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show for my experts at Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Your roof is long overdue to be replaced, and now Findlay has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get a new roof. Get started today with a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis, then take advantage of the 0% financing available. FindlayRoofing.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. fresh for everyone.
Save big on fresh Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're on sale now for only $2.69 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Georgia Power is here for you with programs, tools, and incentives that lower your bill. But we also have a few ways you can save right now. Unplug devices like TVs when they're not being used, or use a power strip you can switch off. Make sure you're only using the lights you need. Change out your HVAC filter and make sure your vents are clear. Set your thermostat at 78 for max efficiency. But every degree closer helps. Because everything we save on energy can be better spent being there for the people we care about. Visit georgiapower.com for more energy-saving tips.
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
The end of summer doesn't have to be the end of your fun. Your backyard can be your family's happy place all year long in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our huge Labor Day sale with instant rebates up to $2,500 and special financing for 60 months. Hurry, offer ends September 3rd. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of brownspools.com.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's best choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's best choice, quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys, know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Two similar homes for sale, same neighborhood, but the one with the orchard sign sold for more. Why? Well, Orchard's local agents know what buyers want, make smart upgrades, and handle it all. Get your free home valuation at orchard.com.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. They have a very exciting program that might be the perfect fit for you. Introducing the Aesthetic Vault, a curated members-only program for those that prioritize elevated self-care and personalized beauty. Enjoy exclusive perks, preferred pricing, and the freedom to apply your monthly bank towards the treatment you love, all for $149 per month. As a member, you'll receive 10% off med spa services and retail products, a complimentary consultation, skin analysis, and either a dermaplane or peel every year. Be among the first 100 members to lock in a lifetime monthly rate of $129. But you must call Marietta Plastic Surgery. Call 770-425-7575. That's 770-425-7575. Or visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
This is just incredible to watch. It's gone. It's gone. We're in darkness. Take off the glasses.
That sound from 8 years ago today as Americans marveled at the first total solar eclipse visible in the continental United States in 38 years. I remember that morning vividly. We were back in the courtyard here, and I think it was me and EVH doing a live broadcast during the thing. We were all standing out there with the goggles on. That was crazy times.
Yeah, I took Lily to the Tellus Museum.
That's right.
To see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you called in sick.
I did.
Speaking of celestial events, joining us live, the director of the Academy Award-winning Apollo 13, Ron Howard. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know where Ron is. He's not here, Deborah. Have you heard anything from...
I've messaged the booker, and I'm waiting to hear back.
All right. And there is the phone ringing right now. So we're going to have a 2-minute and 30-second interview with Ron Howard in just a moment. He's got a new movie out called Eden. Obviously, anything Ron Howard does is worth watching, and I'm assuming Eden is going to be just as great as all of his prior works as a director. The man behind the camera, the man behind the lens, the man that creates movie magic every time we go to the theater. I've got not much more to say. All right. I'm sorry. If we can't do 2 minutes of Ron, Vinny. See if it doesn't matter. Just see if we can get him back rebooked at 11:37 because logistically it's just not going to work. I'm not going to have enough time to interview Mr. Ron Howard and give enough time to his new movie Eden. I will say his new movie Eden is about to hit theaters. I'm sure it's going to be a success. Basically, the plot is a group of disillusioned Europeans settle on a remote, uninhabited island in the Galapagos. They soon discover that their greatest threat isn't the brutal climate or deadly wildlife, but one another. As tensions spiral and desperation takes hold, a twisted power struggle unfolds, leading to betrayal, violence, and death. Eden, directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker Ron Howard. Coming soon to a theater. I could do, you know what? I'm going to voice the audiobook of Eden. Of Eden when it comes out. Anyway, can we get him back on at 11:37? Did they say anything? Everyone's shrugging at me. All right, what are you going to do? I just teased it for 2 straight days. Of all the people to let me down, I'm going to have a sleepless night tonight, I can tell you that. If you are one of 3 Americans who suffer potentially dangerous excessive daytime drowsiness, you might want to cut some foods out of your daily diet.
Scientists writing in the medical journal Lancet eBiomedicine say they've found a link between excessive daytime sleepiness, or EDS, and a substance called tyramine. It's typically found in aged cheeses, smoked meats, and alcoholic drinks, as well as overripe or fermented foods. Men seem to be most susceptible, and since EDS can raise your risk of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes, a dietary tweak may be in order. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
All right, Vicky. I had my fantasy football draft this weekend, and one of my my friends in the league, he just looked haggard. And I was like, what is wrong with you, Murph? He's like, I've got insomnia. I'm like, recently? He's like, no, for like 4 years. 4 years. I'm like, is it dietary? He's like, nope. It's, I'm like, over-the-counter sleep aids? Nothing. That stinks. I realized I am... Do you remember that episode, Deborah, of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns goes to the doctor, and the doctor
everything is wrong.
Everything's wrong with him, but it's in perfect balance.
Yeah.
Like he's got so many ailments that for whatever reason he's still alive because they're perfectly like the pH balance is. I feel like that is my situation because you remember Deborah? I think it was Sunday night. I texted you. I'm like, I don't feel well.
Yeah.
So this weekend I had a busy weekend, and my routine is so regimented and not in a good way. It's not like I'm out running or anything. But I need my afternoon nap. If I don't get it, it throws up everything. I didn't get any naps this weekend. And then what happened, Deborah? I was lightheaded. I was dizzy. I was nauseous. My eye hurt. I'm like Mr. Burns. You throw one thing out of kilter, and I'm done.
A toddler who needs nap time.
I'm a toddler that needs nap time. Exactly right. All right, we're going to effort to get Mr. Ron Howard back on. That's fine. I want to have an extended conversation. I don't want to crunch it in. I need more than 2 minutes. I need more than 2 minutes with Ron Howard. So we'll try to get him back after the news. If not, we're going to update the U.S., Russia, Ukraine situation. Willie James Inman covering that in the White House. And in case you missed it, big political news in the courtroom, in a federal courtroom today, could impact the Georgia governor's race. We'll revisit the new information from Greg Bluestein. Social media is active at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top stories happening now. Air Force Two has arrived in Metro Atlanta carrying Vice President J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance. The Vice President will first head downtown to speak to a Republican National Committee gathering. So let's first go to Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center on how this could impact your drive.
Yeah, that's right, Austin. The rolling roadblocks are in place. These temporary closures for Vice President Vance. And 85 northbound is shut down right around the airport, just north of Camp Creek Parkway. 75 north closed at Cleveland Avenue, as well as I-20 east and westbound right at the downtown connector. I'm looking at one of our jam cams. There is no traffic coming 75, 85 northbound, getting past Grady Hospital. Think about using Moreland Avenue, Highway 29, Metropolitan Parkway, Northside Drive, some alternates to get you around these closures. Austin?
Thank you, Alex. After that event, he'll then hold an event at a manufacturing plant in Peachtree City where he'll discuss the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Second Lady Usha Vance holds an event in Canton today. We'll, of course, keep you updated on the traffic impacts throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. An elderly man in Marietta is recovering after he was beaten after walking in on someone inside his own home.
Cobb County Police first started getting 911 calls about a man being found along Sandy Plains Road. Drivers first thought he'd been hit by a vehicle, but Officer Aaron Wilson says the 77-year-old was actually beaten with a piece of wood by someone he knew after finding that suspect inside his home.
The victim managed to escape to the sidewalk where officers later found him.
The suspect was later found overnight along Shallowford Road thanks to license plate recognition cameras. 29-year-old Onur Yeni Hayat is charged with aggravated assault, but more charges could be coming. It is not known why he was inside the victim's home. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt is not a fan of the $1.2 billion plan approved by commissioners to build a special purpose facility and renovate the Rice Street Jail. Labatt says it's the equivalent to being in a burning building and voting to design a new fire station that won't open for 5 years. He also calls it a political game of smoke and mirrors. Labatt says the commissioners' deliberate indifference will continue to put the Fulton County Sheriff's Office and inmates directly in harm's way. In a 2-2 vote along party lines, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners decides not to seat 2 nominees for the Board of Elections.
Previous rejections of Jason Frazier and Julie Adams led the Republican Party to sue. A judge ordered the commission to approve the nominees, but board member Dana Barrett is one of 2 Democrats voting no.
They're election deniers, and they're doing everything they can to undermine faith in the election process in Fulton County.
Commissioner Bob Ellis says it is just pure partisanship.
I've felt differently about individual nominees that have come before us on the Democratic side, but I've not personally slandered them, attacked them, and so forth.
3 commissioners were absent for the vote. Members face fines and even jail time for defying the court order, which is currently under appeal. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A new study finds eating more omega fatty acids could play a major role in protecting women against Alzheimer's.
A King's College London study found women with Alzheimer's had lower levels of omega fatty acids than healthy women. Researchers say women should make sure they eat enough omega fatty acids, either through fatty fish or supplements.
Michael George reports the study finds men do not seem to get the same benefit from upping their fatty acids intake. It's 11:33, time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still watching these temporary road closures around the airport. Austin 85 northbound shut down at Camp Creek Parkway, 75 north at Cleveland Avenue. Both directions of Langford Parkway right at the downtown connector also closed. You cannot access 75 85 north from I-20. Again, this is all just temporary till Vice President Vance's motorcades make it to their destination in downtown. Think about Northside Drive, Highway 29, Metropolitan Parkway, Boulevard, Moreland Avenue, all great alternates around that. And conditions improving 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side. You've been jammed in from South Cobb Drive getting down to I-20. That was due to a temporary traffic pace for some construction, but all lanes back open. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, hot and humid, high 91. Scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms through this afternoon and evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy downpours. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 84. Staying cloudy on Saturday, high 82.
Right now it is 80 degrees in Buford, 80 in Union City, also 80 in Midtown. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise
Eric
me.
Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next, updating a big political story here in Georgia and the latest with Russia and Ukraine. Straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
2 keys to surviving a brutal Atlanta summer. Number 1, stay hydrated. Drink your water, folks. Number 2, make sure your air conditioning unit can handle your needs. It's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. You need AC this summer. You need an AC that works and is reliable, and you need to save money. Check out this offer. Get any sized AC, just $69.99 a month. That's it. 0 down. Low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life. An unbeatable lifetime warranty. Plus, you get 24/7 service and next day installations guaranteed, or Reliable pays you $500. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
Has the heat brought out the stink in your basement? Water damage? Musty odors? Mold? Dave Baker here. Let AquaGuard Foundation Solutions fix it once and for all and keep your basement dry year-round. Visit aquaguard.net for your free inspection.
AquaGuard. This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLand and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLand. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLand is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLand, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
11:37 on this disappointing edition of the Mark Arum Show. I'm not going to lie to you. I jumped out of bed this morning, said, Ron Howard's on the show today. Ron Howard's on the show today. I just texted his dude, Deborah. He had texted me and said, Ron's running a couple minutes late, but you know, we run a tight ship here.
I know.
I can't blow off the news for Richie Cunningham, so I just texted him if he can come back on this half hour, but...
Yeah, I'm texting him as well.
All right. In the meantime, let's update the Russia-Ukraine war. Willie James Inman from CBS was in Alaska for the big summit between President Trump, President Putin. Willie, welcome back stateside. or at least the continental United States of America. What was your initial reaction from that quote-unquote press conference we saw Friday after the meeting?
Yeah, certainly not a press conference by any means, because both leaders gave statements, talked for about 12 minutes or so, and didn't take any questions. So certainly wasn't a press conference by any means, but wasn't what we were expecting. Because remember, President Trump going into the Alaska summit with President Putin of Russia essentially said that he wanted a ceasefire. And if, in fact, Putin didn't agree with him on that, he would be very upset. That didn't happen. We, of course, have seen things change and shift with Zelensky's visit here to the White House earlier this week. But we'll have to wait and see in terms of what happens with negotiations between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, where are we at that point now that the summit is over in Alaska? We had the White House meeting with Zelensky and the European leaders. Where are we now in negotiating an end to the war?
Yeah, so the White House has essentially said that they have been able to try to work on a face-to-face meeting between Zelensky and Putin that could take place in Budapest, Hungary. We know that they are working to make that happen in the next 2 weeks or so. Russia has pushed back a little bit on that notion, essentially saying that they're raising the conversation to the leader level, not necessarily confirming that meeting will take place. Nonetheless, the Europeans, the Americans, working on security guarantees for Ukraine. President Trump has said that America could be involved in some way with those security guarantees, not necessarily boots on the ground, but it could be air support for Ukraine once peace negotiations happen. And for a Ukraine that's not in war, it would involve security guarantees. Russia has pushed back on that as well, trying to essentially have a veto say in what security guarantees Ukraine has. So a lot of this is up in the air, but the big crux of what's happening right now is those ongoing talks and whether or not Putin and Zelensky will meet face-to-face. It could happen in Budapest, Hungary, and whether or not President Trump will actually take part in those conversations at that location or at a different location.
I have to wonder, Willie, if they're putting the cart before the horse on this, talking about security guarantees that would be implemented after the war ends. First, the war has to end, and what we saw in Alaska and what we saw at the White House on Monday, I don't see a realistic end to this war anytime soon. Am I misreading the situation?
Well, look, Mark, your guess is as good as mine, right? This has been going on for the past few years. Now, we, of course, know that Ukraine is really adamant about the security guarantees in large part because they don't want this to happen again. We saw the situation in Crimea and then what happened with the most recent invasion by Russia. So that's part of the argument. That's why Ukraine is pushing so hard for these security guarantees because they're concerned, and rightfully so, about what happens after the peace deal goes through, if it does indeed happen.
All right, CBS News reporter Willie James Immonen back in D.C., walking to the White House. Final question, not related to the war. In Alaska, were you able to sample any of the amazing Alaskan food?
I did have some really good, it was kind of like some chicken. I didn't get any salmon or anything like that. I had some shrimp, Mark. It was good, though. I had a good time in Alaska. And I'm sorry I couldn't chat with you that Monday. I was actually off because of the long weekend. I ended up working over the weekend after that.
No worries.
But always happy to talk to you. My home state down there in Georgia.
Yeah, no elk chili, nothing like that?
No elk chili, but I do order some elk chili with my food. I get a food delivery service, and I eat elk chili weekly usually, so it's actually quite good.
Very nice. All right, Willie, welcome back. As always, thanks for your coverage, buddy.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Russia attacking Ukraine more fervently, saying that Ukraine is not interested in peace, which is, I mean, goodness gracious. Talk about gaslighting from the Kremlin. One more international story to cover. Israel's military urging medical personnel and aid groups in northern Gaza to prepare evacuation plans. Israel said it started the first stage of a ground offensive to take control of Gaza City. CBS's Rami Onsensio reports this was announced after an attack by Hamas.
The terrorists attacked an IDF structure and then used machine guns along with anti-tank missiles. Soon after that, Israel's military spokesman then said, "We will deepen the attack on Hamas in Gaza City." He also said that the IDF is holding the outskirts of the city, and that jives with what our CBS News producer in Gaza has been telling us, that the IDF has encircled the city and that bombing kept going in the south and in the north.
All right, there you go. Any developments in the Israel-Hamas war or the Russia-Ukraine war, we'll, of course, bring them to you live throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. Updating a big local political story involving gubernatorial candidates. Joining us on the show from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, our good friend Greg Bluestein. Greg, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. Always a blast to be with you, Mark.
So we've been hyper-focused on the big political races that are shaping up here in Georgia for the Senate seat and the governor's mansion. The headline today on AJC.com, why two top Georgia Republicans are in court today fighting over money. And this is AG Chris Carr and Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, the two Republican candidates for governor. And they're in court battling over what exactly, Greg?
Yeah, fundraising. This goes back to a 2021 law that Governor Kemp supported back when he was worried that the state Republican Party wasn't going to do enough to help legislative candidates and help his own reelection bid. So they passed a law forming what we call leadership committees, and it's jargon. But basically, these are committees that allow candidates to raise unlimited cash, even during the legislative session, but only certain candidates. So that means only governors and nominees for governor, and only lieutenant governors and nominees for lieutenant governor, and only legislative leaders. You know who that leaves out? Attorney General Chris Carr, who's bringing that lawsuit, saying it's just unfair.
Interesting. So I didn't know that it was so narrow on who could raise these monies depending on what your current situation was. Why, in hindsight, why was it such a narrow ruling there, or new law that went into effect when it came to fundraising?
You know, I mean, you could all say that way back when those legislative leaders were already looking at a race in 2026, because they are looking forward. But also, I think there were some lawmakers who wanted to limit it to just a handful of people, because if you let every statewide officer raise unlimited cash, it would even more change politics in Georgia. But I can tell you, Mark, it has already fundamentally reshaped politics here in Georgia. If you look at the last race for governor back in 2022, this law was in existence, and both Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp used these committees to raise nearly $100 million that they otherwise could not have raised, because there are conventional caps on your average donor donating to Governor Kemp's campaign committee can only donate, let's say, $13,000 for a primary and a runoff. Well, this means you could donate unlimited. You could donate $60 million if you want to. So money has a bigger influence in Georgia politics because of this law.
So, Greg, what's the difference between a leadership committee and like a super PAC?
Yeah, good question. Like a super PAC can't coordinate directly with the campaign.
Oh.
It's out there. It's supposed to be independent. It can still do all these things to help a campaign, but it can't coordinate directly with the campaign. Whereas Governor Kemp's, he still has one, even though he's not running for re-election, obviously. But his leadership committee, he can use however he wants within of course, legal means, which means he can use it to go boost Derek Dooley or the Senate candidate of his choice or other legislative leaders. He can go promote ads boosting his campaign agenda. He can use it to pay for staff and buy digital ads and do all those things directly. And he can also do that, raise money during the legislative session when candidates are typically not allowed. State officials cannot raise money during that legislative session.
Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, again, in federal court right now. The news team will cover that. Any decisions, if we get them today, probably not. But when we do, we will pass them alive to you. Social media is active at Mark Arum. Golf clap for Deborah Green. I put... I'm not even going to say it. If you missed it, we talked about the Cracker Barrel logo change, and Deborah took right to the old Photoshop. And I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just I posted on all my social medias, Finders Keepers ? Finders Keepers ? So you can go check it out. That's a tease. Go ahead and I'm not even going to tell you on the radio. I can't even describe how amazing Deborah Green is with Photoshop. Just go to my social medias at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Joining us live now, King of the Roads, Alex Williams. Gave you a new nickname there, buddy.
I appreciate it, buddy. And we are watching recovery mode leaving the airport now that Vice President Vance's motorcade has reached its destination. All lanes are back open on 85 and 75, making your way up past the airport terminals onto the downtown connector. Some southbound delays from the Buckhead area trying to get down into Midtown. Travel advisory, we're calling it, with this right lane construction in Kennesaw, 75 southbound below Wade Green Road, exit 273. It's in the right lane, but it's very slow back to Highway 92. Might want to use Highway 41, Cobb Parkway. And crash in Swanee, blocking at least one lane, 85 southbound below Highway 317, exit 111, causing the brake lights there back to I-985. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh, my word.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
Begins Monday, August 25th.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
Window Comfort's exclusive window line is built for Georgia's extreme heat and guaranteed to lower your energy bills. Right now, get buy two, get two free with no payments till 2026. Schedule your no-pressure estimate today at windowcomfort.com.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun, without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show here. Right now, Beaver Toyota is loaded with fresh inventory. They have the perfect Toyotas for your summer adventures, from road trips with your buddies to family trips to the beach, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit, or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780. Don't wait. Call now. 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
I've done it. This is what I came here for, and that's what I did.
That is what he did. Happy 39th birthday to the fastest human ever. Usain Bolt turns 39 today, won a total of 6 gold medals at the games in Beijing and London. I believe Mark McKay once interviewed Usain Bolt. Fastest human ever. Like, just remarkable speed from Mr. Bolt. I saw a ton of outpouring of grief last night. Apparently, the world was in love with Rhode Island Judge Frank Caprio. He died at the age of 88. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
For 40 years, Judge Frank Caprio would hear cases from his Providence, Rhode Island bench, along the way earning the reputation as America's nicest judge.
Based on the 0.3 of a second, the matter is dismissed.
There was the little boy right next to him at the bench, asked about his dad's traffic ticket.
Guilty or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty.
In later years, his hit TV show, Caught in Providence, put his humor and heart on full display.
I mean, sounds like an amazing individual. I had never heard of Judge Frank Caprio till yesterday. Deborah, had you heard of him?
No, I've never heard of him.
I mean, all social media were like,
y'all don't know?
Never heard of him.
I've never watched those judge shows.
Yeah, I know Judge Judy and Judge Wapner.
I don't know him from a show. I just seen him on Instagram clips and stuff. Yeah.
Apparently a great human being.
Yeah.
So rest in peace. I had no idea that he was a thing. He died at the age of 88 after a battle with cancer.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right. Today is National Spumani Day.
Ooh.
It originated in Naples, Italy.
Yeah.
Featuring layers of gelato, fruit, and nuts like pistachio, chocolate, and almond. The dessert was introduced to the United States in 1870s and inspired Neapolitan ice cream.
Now, as a waiter in an Italian restaurant in New York, I could tell legit customers if they ordered for dessert, if they ordered the what is it with the lady fingers and the what's that?
Tiramisu?
Yeah. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. But if they ordered the spumoni, I was like, you know what you're doing. That's a great. And today's I don't even know if you can get it in Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's rare. It's because everyone wants the. What is it again? I hate this dessert. Say it again.
Tiramisu?
Tiramisu.
You don't like tiramisu?
No.
Really?
Yeah, it's soggy, old, cold coffee.
You would think that would be right up your alley.
Am I about to get fired? Why is everyone standing behind you, Longoria?
I have no idea.
Are they? Oh, by the way, I think Ron Howard's calling in 3 minutes. Instead of preempting Eric Erickson, I'll record with Ron Howard, and then we'll play tomorrow. Knock on wood, hopefully. But I tell you who's not getting a star of the show. Ron Howard.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
But I'm getting one because I had to tap dance. Made me look like a fool. Richie Cunningham. Longoria, you crushed it today. Vinny, good job. Deborah, the Photoshop alone. Mwah. Chef's kiss. You get a star of the show. John Frasca gets a star of the show. I want to know what the that's Ashley's husband, by the way. I want to know what the yearly total is if John is close to leapfrogging Ashley. He gave me the clip for Men in Black, the best of the best of the best. Our guests were phenomenal. Peter Haralambous joined us live from New York City. Willie James Inman joined us live from D.C. Greg Bluestein joined us live from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Mike Sasso, not Joey Sasso, Mike Sasso from Bloomberg News gets a star of the show. I think that's it, Deborah. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, so no Ron Howard tomorrow.
Sorry.
All right. Can we get Potsy?
That I can probably do.
All right. We're going to try to get Potsy tomorrow on the show. Social medias are active, including Deborah's amazing Photoshop work at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta.
On that midnight train to Georgia.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
A new federal rule that was just about to go into effect that would make it as easy to cancel as it was to sign up, and it was just outlawed.